Alright everyone, now that the hobby space is clear, and we have some room to actually paint, we're going to dive into it. Today I have this orc from Heroquest. A buddy of mine runs Heroquest semi-professionally as like a side job, and I'm slowly painting up a whole set for him so that he has a more, impressive table to play with. But our next event together is only in a couple of weeks, so I'm going to see how much of this I can get done by then. Because I want to, when we meet up, I try to swap his unpainted stuff for my painted stuff, so we both still have a complete set at the end. So yeah, let's get to it. So I had worked on all these guys previously, just trying to make a variety of muddy green skin tones, but I think it's time to block in some of the other colors just so we can get some contrast on there before we do any of the final highlighting on the green. Right now I find it's very monotone, and that's making it hard for me to decide, how far I want to push the brightness and not. So yeah, let's whip out some highlight colors and some base coats for various Fabric elements. So to the credit of the design team on the Heroquest, this new edition, they did give you 4 unique orc sculpts. So for the 8 orcs included, you only have 2 duplicates of each. So good job Hasbro on that one. You get something right every once in a while. To that end, to avoid having, duplicate syndrome, what I'm doing is I'm doing a sort of a warm palette and a cold palette for each sculpt. So this way there's sort of like a group of 4 in the cools, group of 4 in the warm, so that you could kind of track their stats easier. In board games like this where you have a lot of duplicate sculpts, especially if an enemy has multiple hit points, there's not a great way to distinguish, yes, the same number, orc 1 of 8, they all look the same, I did damage to that one, right? So if we're playing on the table, I can say, okay, cool, the orc with the axe and the red hair, he has a point of damage, and I can mark that down behind the GM screen or as a dice local to him, and the players have an easier time communicating who they're attacking and kind of tracking the status of these things. So that's just a tip. If you're going to paint something that has a lot of repetitive sculpts, make sure you break it up a bit, and it's going to make your games a little bit easier to discuss and play in the moment. So next up is the base coats of the metal, and then we'll start doing some highlights all around to kind of get a sense of how these guys are coming along. And here are those base coats on. I mean, even from this far, they're pretty easily distinguishable without any highlights, without any washes, right? Just the balance of the warm and the cool is huge. And then a little closer. It's nothing crazy, right? They're not expert. They're not even intermediate level good, but it's on there and they're easily identifiable, which is the goal. So thanks for checking it out today. We'll work on the detailing tomorrow, probably.